another quick video that I'm doing, a tutorial on how to play the song What's This Life For by Creed, and we're going to go over some of the techniques that they use in it. I, as always, will have the link to the tablature for the song in the description below, so stay tuned and see what we can accomplish. Now the song is in standard tuning E-A-D G-B-E. And so I just have it on clean. Mine has a little bit of distortion, not too much, but a little bit. And this tutorial is the main riff. It's going to be G, and it goes to D, and then it goes to a B Sus2, right to a C Sus2. Now this is typically what they're playing throughout the majority of the song. They just might change it around a little bit. When they get to the chorus, they'll add some distortion, they'll add some power chords in there too. But we're just going to focus on the main riff for this tutorial and the techniques that they're using while they're playing them. Hopefully the glare is not going to interfere with what you're seeing. And I'm going to start with a G. Now this G, and I'll have the chord posted, should be posted right around here. It's going to show your ring finger and your pinky are going to be on the D and the G, which just means the third fret of the first and second strings down here. And what we're doing is right off the bat, they have a unique pattern here. They do it every time. So it's two down strums and then one up strum, open strings. And it's kind of a quick transition from the G to the open strings and to the D. So we're doing it again. And from here, I've got my D set up, but now we're going to arpeggio this D. What do I mean by arpeggio? What I mean is we're going to pick each of the notes of the chord one by one. And the way that I'm doing that is I am starting on the root note, the open D string for this D chord. And if you watch my right hand, I'm just allowing the pick to fall onto the next string. And so in the song, it would be similarly when I'm going down the D chord, instead of what I would call cherry picking, you can do that cherry picking style, but I kind of prefer to try to do this style here, just falling onto each of the strings. So when I fall onto each of the strings and finish that D chord, then I'm going to have to come back up in the same style, just opposite. Coming up, letting the pick climb up, but it's falling right onto each next string. But you did hear a trill in there. A trill is... The tricky part with this is a D. So easy to misplace your fingers, the positioning of your fingers. So if you were to move just a little bit, your ring finger is going to get in the way of that first string. So you want to keep your fingers upward like this, keep the guitar flat up against you, and I'm not going to play it exactly the way they do in the song right now because I'm showing you how to do a trill. If you've never done one before, you're going to go... Now I'm not picking each of the notes, I'm just picking once. So you see my right hand over here disappears, and it's... So in the song, they're doing... So that might be something that you'll have to practice over and over again for a while to get it just right. Because from there, we're going to do a jump to a bar chord. So this is a bit more of a intermediate-ish riff. You start off with the G, easy enough, to the D, even that you can consider relatively easy once you've gone through it enough and gotten used to doing it. But then we're going to go to this B Sus2. Again, we have the G, and then D, and then coming back up, and then B Sus2. Now, a B Sus2 is like playing a B major, and I don't like playing it like this because I have fat fingers. I tend to play it like this. But when you're playing a B Sus2, instead of having D sharp, it's C sharp. If I make that transition from a regular B major to a B Sus2, you could do it like this, but it's a lot easier if you just take and swap your fingers. It just makes sense. So, and that's the style that they use when they're playing this from the D. So they slightly arpeggio, and on the last two strings they just like that. So, and then one more strum. So let's do that again and see what we do transitioning from the B Sus2 to the C Sus2. Well, let's start from the D. So I go down the first three on that C because I've moved just one fret up to the C Sus2. I'm doing the first three, so I'm doing the root note right here on that third fret. So you see what I'm doing here when I get to this C Sus2, I'm going 3 down, 4 up. So it's an arpeggio, first down and then back up, kind of like what I just did with that D chord. Rake it down slowly, and then stop halfway, come back up for 4, but raking it slowly again. 4, 2, 3, 4, and then we start over again. That will take care of the main riff there. As usual, like the video, subscribe, let me know if you have any requests, and stay tuned for my next video.